It is very concerning to me because she has no apparent need for a weapon.
Is there cause for community concern tonight as this Naples police officer involved in a deadly domestic shooting gets her gun back? Fox 4 is working to get you answers. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Kelly Stegeman. Sergeant Amy Young ended up shot in the face during a domestic dispute that left fellow officer Dave Monroy dead back in July. It happened in a Lee County home they shared. Tonight, 4 in Your Corner's Katie Jones asking a criminal justice expert for his take to get you some perspective.
Well, Kelly, Michael Chianopoulos runs a law firm and teaches law at FGCU. He's not associated with this case, but he says this all comes down to community safety. If investigators won't tell the public who fired the shots in the case, why would a judge allow the surviving officer to get her gun back?
The judge ordered that she can have her gun back. Does this mean she did nothing wrong?
It does not mean she did nothing wrong. What it does mean is that there's been no allegation by the state's attorney that she's done anything wrong at this point. When I weigh her right to carry a weapon or access a weapon versus public safety is going to win in my mind.
Is the public in danger? It's been nearly 2 months since the shooting at this Lakes of Estero home where Officer Dave Monroy was shot and killed, and Officer Amy Young was also shot. Her face clearly showing the wounds when she appeared in court last month. But who pulled the trigger? Since the Lee County Sheriff's Office won't say, it leads many to wonder why Young would be allowed to have her gun.
It is very concerning to me because she has no apparent need for a weapon. She's on leave right now, still medical leave, and even if she wasn't, she should be put on administrative duty.
Young surrendered her gun to the Collier County Sheriff's Office after the ex-wife of David Monroy filed a restraining order against Young. In court, Nina Diaz-Monroy said she feared for the safety of herself and her 3 children. The judge dismissed that case, citing lack of evidence. But just 2 weeks later, Young wrote a letter to the court stating, in part, I am currently employed as a police sergeant with the Naples Police Department, and the weapon that was taken into safekeeping is my service weapon. A judge has now agreed that she should get it back.
I have reviewed the motion to return property and court will grant the request.
Absolute law firm owner and professor Michael Chianopoulos is surprised by the judge's decision because he says officers should be held to a certain standard in cases like this.
Here we have an increased standard because we have a public servant who's armed by the people for the people. And this is very concerning to me.
And as for community concern that investigators aren't sharing more information,
they don't want to be subject to criticism from the outside world saying, well, you let this slide because it's one of your own. So I like to think that they're taking their time to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and the investigation is absolutely accurate.
and even when the Lee County Sheriff's Office is done investigating, you'll still have to wait to find out what happened because the state's attorney's office says it wants to look at the sheriff's findings before sharing the information with you and the rest of the public. Of course, count on Fox 4 to continue to press for answers in this case. Live in the studio, Katie Jones, Fox 4 in your corner.
Do you think the judge made the right call? It's your